Hi, and these are Hamlet's quotes. "'Tis the sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petard." Hamlet said it, and he has his plot backfire on himself. "When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dragon." Hamlet said this to Rosencrantz, and Hamlet is accusing him of doing whatever Claudius wants him to do. "With devotion's visage and pious action, we do sugar or the devil himself." Hamlet's interpretation of Ophelia, and it shows Hamlet's fury. "Alas, poor Yorick! I knew him, Horatio." Hamlet sees a skull of someone he knew who was a jester, and it shows how it doesn't matter what you were when you were alive. "And where the offense is, let the great axe fall." Claudius tells Laertes that this to ensure that there are allies and to ensure Laertes' revenge on Hamlet. "Brevity is the soul of wit." Clever people can express intelligent things using very few words and could be a smart, funny speech, and writing should be short. "By indirections and directions finding out." The use of indirection to seek the truth, manipulation as opposed to indirect action. "Do not forget, visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose." The ghost is reminding Hamlet of his task to kill Claudius. "Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt that be a liar, but never doubt I love." She can doubt some eternal truths that are out there, but she cannot doubt for a moment his love for her, which is Hamlet and Ophelia. "Frady, thy name is a woman. Women are weaker than men. Get thee to a nunnery." Hamlet didn't want to marry Ophelia and told her to not get married and not have kids. "God hath given you one face, and you make yourself another." This insecurity, a two-faced person, double entendre. Her death was doubtful, but that great command oversways the order. She should, in grounds unsatisfied, been lodged till the last trumpet. Hamlet feels bad for Yorick. "How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge." Everything is encouraging Hamlet to take revenge. "How smart a lash that speech doth give my conscience, the harlot's cheek beautied with plastering art, and is not more ugly to the thing that it helps than is my deed to my most painted word, O heavy burden." Act 3, Scene 1, Polonius said, This meaning men believe in God to cover up their sins, and that's what Claudius does. "I have heard your paintings too, well enough. God hath given your face, and you make yourselves another." Women are given one face by God, then they put on makeup to make another face. "I must be cruel only to be kind, to do something that will cause someone pain because you believe it will help them." Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Body of man is part of earth and goes back to earth. "My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never heaven go." Claudius is not genuinely praying to have his sins forgiven. He is praying thoughtlessly. "Not so, my lord, I am too much in the sun." It is a joke, and son really means son. And because of his father's death, Hamlet is super depressed. "Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee thy rest." Horatio is affirming a Hamlet who the audience may have lost signs. In Hamlet's final exchange with Horatio, we see Hamlet taking on his responsibilities as a king, and even as he is dying. Oh, pernicious woman, villain, villain, smiling, darned villain. Hamlet is mad, and this quote is an example of how people can be two-faced and hypocritical and hide their native from the world, or nature from the world. Oh, my offense is rank, it smells to heaven. It hath the criminal eldest curse upon a brother's murder. Claudius is referring to the story in Genesis where God places a curse on Cain for killing his brother Abel. Oh, that this is two sullied flesh would melt, thought and resolve to ado, or that the everlasting had not fixed his canon against his self-slaughter. Hamlet wished that his body would just melt, turn to water, and become like dew. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Marcellus said this, meaning something is not right. The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. Hamlet says this, and this is a reference to a law that says the king has the right to enforce the laws, but the laws just don't go away when the king dies. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. Gertrude says this, meaning that the player queen's protestants of love and fidelity are too excessive to believe. The play's a thing wherein I'll catch the coincidence of the king. It means that Hamlet is using the play as an instrument to touch the coincidence of Claudius. He wants to make him aware of the fact that he knows who actually killed his father. Therefore, brevity is the soul of wit, and tendencies of the limbs and outward flourishes I will be brief. Hamlet's words, the play is the thing, wherein catch all conscience of the king. He wants to find out whether Claudius is keeping him away from Ophelia. This above all to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night as the day. Thou canst be false to any man, but the most commonly understood being true to yourself, or one always do the right thing but keeping right. This was Polonius of the play. Though be this madness, yet there is method in it. Polonius' assertion as ironic because he is right and wrong. Polonius believes Hamlet is acting mad because Hamlet's love of Ophelia has driven him such. To be or not to be, that is the question. To be or not to be is one of the most important quotes in Hamlet, and because Hamlet is questioning if he wants to commit suicide. To cut his throat in the church. Hamlet would not kill Claudius in church, wanting to catch him, but when he was sitting on his feet, he would